Okay guys, thank you for tuning in again. I wanted to show you guys this next video. This video here is part of a series. This series covers what I think are the best cards for this new set that's come out. The new set obviously is called the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Very nice set. There's some really interesting things in this set, and I want to point out some of them here. Now, if you're watching this, I'm going to assume you've probably already seen the video that covers the top 10 commons, also the top 10 uncommons, and then the rares. This one here will cover the mythics. So here are the top 10 mythics from our new set, the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Alright, let's get started. Here's the first card I really think is a good card. Okic Top Deepest Foundations. This is a nice one. It says when a token creature you control attacks for the first time during your turn, reinforce it 3 times. I think that's important for certain decks. A lot of decks, if you can set it up right, will give you a big token, a big creature token. Now if you play this one here, this is going to help you reinforce that creature token. And a lot of times that's going to be something that if you build it correctly is going to help you to win games. Very cool stuff. It's got a backside to the card, not a ton going on here. It helps you to convert gems to loyalty gems, which is really helpful in some decks. I kind of, don't really feel like there's a use for this one because you can get this out of a different card, but just this side here by itself is pretty awesome. Alright, here's the next one. Ixalan, Deepest Might. This is a nice one. When this creature deals combat damage to a creature, deal that much damage to a random opposing target. So you can kind of see what this one is used for. You're hopefully going to be able to buff this guy to make him really big and strong. Then hopefully your opponent's going to have a creature that you can attack. When you attack that creature, it's going to die, and you'll be able to do the amount of damage that you just normally would have done to a planeswalker. You'd be able to do that to another creature, or possibly even the planeswalker, right? So this guy gets to do damage twice. Very awesome. I like the back here, Temple of Power. Temple of Power, pretty basic, but it gives you 3 red gems, every turn. That's nice. Some decks like Koth will definitely benefit from this. Here's the next one, Sovereign Okic Aal. This is a really good one. I think you can use this to just do a ton of damage. This is one of those that you can revolve an entire deck around. I'd say when I looked at the entire series, this entire set, this one is probably a top 5, right? So that's how just amazing this card is. Alright, I'll read it to you. It says here, at the beginning of the combat on your turn, your creatures get +X until the end of your turn. Alright, X is the greatest power among creatures you control. A couple of things I want to point out. It says your creatures. That means every single creature you get will get that +X bonus. Alright, so you can see this is going to be nasty. This is going to be a big creature creator, right? It's going to give a nice big buff. Very good stuff here. I really think that if you get one of these creatures, maybe you buff him to be really big, this guy's gonna use that creature's power and distribute it amongst all the others. Pretty awesome. Here's another good card. I think this card here goes well with that previous card, the Letter of Aal. This is a nasty one too. You can I'm gonna read it to you and you can kind of see how it kind of works together with the previous card. Alright, it says when a creature you control deals combat damage to your opponent's planeswalker, double that damage. So you can see what we're going for here with this one and the previous one. We're going to just be trying to do a ton of damage, and the way we're going to do that is buff these creatures ridiculously strong, and you can see how that happens, right? The previous card will get that buff going. This guy will help you to do more damage. Heck, all you really need at that point is maybe get a double strike going, or maybe get something that works with a token creature, make them real big and real nasty. Okay, here's the next one. Ixalan, the Deepest Betrayal. This is another interesting one. It's a bat god creature. When this creature attacks, your opponent discards 2 cards. That's really good on its own right there. You could put this card with some Liliana 1 decks. Liliana 1 is a good one when it comes to like getting rid of your opponent's hand and destroying the hand so that they can't play cards. This is one that's going to help you to do that. And at some point, they're not going to have any cards in their hand. And every turn they're going to draw 1. If they're not able to pay it off, you'll attack with this one on the next turn and get rid of that card. So this card's great. It'll lock down the opponent just by itself. Very, very good stuff here. Let me click on this and show you what the backside says. Similar to the other one, right? This is a standard convert gems to black. Kind of good stuff. You can get this kind of in another card, but this is an excellent addition to this card. Great, great card here. Probably a top 5 card in the entire set. Here's the next one, Ixalan, Deepest Growth. Alright, this one says, when this card deals damage to an opposing target, pick and fetch one of the first 4 cards from your library. If that's a creature card, you can move it into play under your control. You can see what's going on with this card, right? This card is a good one because it helps you to get free creatures. That's basically all you have to say. Use this card, get free creatures, good enough, right? It's one of those that will help you to win games as well, especially if you need some creatures out there that are going to work together. Yeah, you'll get your creatures out quickly with this one. Here's the backside. At the beginning of your turn, shuffle the board. Kind of cool. I do like to shuffle the board, right? It really does help sometimes to just shake things up, and this will help you do that. Okay, going on to the next one, Huatli, Poet of Unity. This is a good one here. Craft 3 land. So that means you got to get rid of the 3 land. And if you can do that, you can use the craft ability, which is here. It says when this card enters the battlefield, fetch the first land card from your library with mana value 15 or less, right? That's kind of interesting. I do like that one. There are some good mana cards that you'll get just by going with the land. There's also some other good lands. I'm not going to really spoil it, but if you know what I'm talking about, maybe some Urza cards with the land on it, that will be really good. This can help you to pull all those out together. When this card is crafted, exile this card and create a Roar of the Fifth People token. This is the Roar of the Fifth People token. I do like this second ability here. Creatures you control get +3/+3 for each of their reinforcements. That can be devastating if you're going with tokens. I would like to try that out myself, and I think it's going to be great. Very cool. Okay, here's the next one, the Millennium Calendar. This is a nice one. This is one of those that if you can pull it off correctly, this will win games for you. Right, it says at the beginning of your turn, increase this card's level by 10. Basically, when this card gets to level 100, do 100 damage to your opponent. Alright, so what you're hoping for with this one is you're going to get it out early in the game, because you got 7 over here, right? So you can probably get it out early. If you're able to get it out early, that's really what you want to do. Get it out early, start building up your 100. It's going to take 10 turns, obviously. Hopefully you can get some damage onto your opponent at that time. And if you're lucky, if you build the deck correctly, what you'll find is this will hit level 100. Your opponent should be under 100 life, and boom, this thing is done. Very good. It's going to help you to win games. Okay, here's the next one I like, Enigma Jewel. Enigma Jewel says craft 3 artifacts, so that's what it's going to take in order to make the craft thing work here. Alright, it says at the beginning of your turn, each artifact card in your hand gains 3 mana. This is one of those that can definitely help you if you got like a mana, or not mana, but if you got an artifact kind of a deck going, this is one that's definitely going to help you, right? It says here, when this card is crafted, exile this card and bring yourself a Locus of Enlightenment token. I'll read it for you here. It says when you cast an artifact card for the first time each turn, as long as you control a support with 6 or more shields, copy that card that you just casted, that artifact card, into your hand, and it will gain full mana.
So real nice. It's going to help you to put some shields on those artifact cards.
Okay, here's the last one, Ojer Pak Patik, the Deepest Epoch. Alright, so the Deepest Epoch, you'll see here, it's a nice card, right? It says, when you cast a non-copy spell, exile it. At the beginning of your next turn, you may pick one of the first 2 different spell cards from your exile. If you do, create a copy of that spell card into your hand, and it's going to gain full mana. So you can see that this is a good one. I would suggest using it with decks that emphasize a lot of spell usage, or maybe one spell multiple times. That's going to be what's really good here. You can take a look at the back. Kind of interesting. It says when you cast a card for the first time during your turn, gain an extra swap. That's the big part here. Quite useful. I do like this one here. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is the top 10 of all of the Mythic cards in this new set, the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. We hope you guys like it. That's it for me. Like and subscribe. You guys know how it goes. That helps the channel. Also share with your friends. That helps the channel. Okay, that's it for me. Good gaming.